Ladies and gentlemen, here we are again, Hudson County View, live at Uncut. And I'm your host, your favorite wheel and deal and limousine ride and jet flying son of a gun, John R. Highness, and it's great to be back. We have a lot to talk about this week, as always. So first of all, we want to let you know about Senator Menendez making an appearance in Hoboken. He was there to talk about a $14 million FEMA grant for the Northwest Resiliency Park, but during a media scrum, he also took aim at Senator Bernie Sanders, of course, the front-runner for the presidency on the Democratic side, for some comments he made about Fidel Castro. So we're going to let you see a clip from that, as well as encourage some further discussion from there. We're also going to talk about former state assemblyman and Republican gubernatorial hopeful Jack Ciattarelli, who also made an appearance in the Biosquare City this week. And he took aim at the incumbent Phil Murphy, saying that Murphy will be one and done in 21. So we are definitely going to let you know what it was like to be at Lola's Tapas the other night when he was making an appearance at their annual, that's the Hoboken GOP's annual Lincoln Day dinner. So we're going to discuss that. We're also going to talk about Jersey City's CFO being fired. She says that she was asked to sign documents that would have made them fraudulent, while the mayor says that she was fired for poor work performance. So we're going to give you all the details on that. We are also going to talk to you about the Bayonne Board of Education meeting, where a number of people spoke out against the LGBTQ curriculum. Certainly, that was a very heated scene. We're going to give you all the details on that. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our guest in the studio today. That's Hoboken parking dude, Andrew Impastato. So all that and much more after we have a word from our sponsor.
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut. John R. Highness, and as promised, I'm with Hoboken Parking Dude, as well as Hoboken Housing Authority Commissioner Andrew Impastato. Andrew, thanks for coming on.
I appreciate you having me.
So Andrew, could you just tell us a little bit, for those that may not be familiar, about what Parking Dude is and why this is something that has been successful and something you've stuck with during your time in Hoboken?
Yeah, it's a big problem in Hoboken is the parking world.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we give out the #1 tickets. We're #1 generator of parking tickets in the country per capita. So
I'm just kidding. You read my emails. You know I'm not a fan of the parking.
Yeah, it's no surprise that parking problem exists. Our app was created to give people information, help them get notified about street cleaning, and pretty much in general just avoid getting tickets. That's how we got founded. That's why we are so popular, and I think that's why a lot of people have gravitated towards us, because we truly do help people avoid getting tickets in a city that's very hard to do.
How many years in operations?
3 years. 3 years so far. It's a free mobile app. We have over 10,000 users. We have over 4,000 followers on Instagram. The following just keeps growing because as the parking problem gets worse and worse, people really try to reach towards us to give them the solutions to the problem.
So the reason that we wanted you on, of course, always good to know about parking, dude. I mean, nothing worse than you wake up in the morning, street sweeper ticket. But with that being said, the real reason that I wanted to have you on, Andrew, was the past two council meetings. So the past month, we've seen 5 different measures approved that are raising parking rates at Hoboken or other fees related to parking, like towing rates. So, you know, clearly this is something that they're using to help generate revenues in a year where it's looking like there's going to be a shortfall in the budget. So, I mean, just what's your take on everything that's transpired in these past 28 days or so?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, what we're seeing is it's a war on cars. Over the last 5 years, the amount of tickets keep going up. Our services that are provided for parking keep going down. We keep getting less and less available parking spots, whether it's from the bump outs or it's from bike lanes. We keep seeing parking spaces get eliminated where there's already a huge supply and demand issue. And we don't see the fees for electrical permits or construction permits or things like operating a private pool go up. We only see parking related issues go up. And as our services go down and $4 million are taken from the HPU and put into the municipal budget each year, and none of that money is used to help solve some of our existing parking problems or create more supply, we all get very frustrated with this, and that's why we say it's a war on cars. It's already existing backdoor tax for many visitors and Hoboken residents, and now what we're seeing is we're just getting more and more revenue and more problems that exist in the parking world with no solutions. Just like you mentioned, to fill a budget hole that exists. It's untimely. It's timely that in a $14 million budget hole, we're going to the easiest part of our municipal budget, which is parking, to get more revenue.
Yeah, so the most recent one that just happened last week was the one that makes now the fee to park in the business district, instead of $1 an hour, it's $2 an hour. We saw the Hoboken Chamber of Commerce said that they think this is a good idea because it will encourage employees to park in the lots, and that will allow customers to, park, do their business, make their purchases, and then go on their way for the rest of the day. Right. What do you think about that rationale for why this is a possibly good policy?
The dynamic pricing model, and that's essentially what it is, it works in very large cities like San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Boston, where it's been successful. It does not work in a city like Hoboken because we clearly don't do anything to create communication avenues for the people that are coming to the city. If you're driving to Hoboken, you already know there's a parking problem. When you go and you drive on Washington Street and you actually do find a spot, you're not going to give up that spot because it's 25 cents more. You're not going to enter the city and see technology signs that say how many available spots are in our garages and on street instead of in our central business district. And then you're going to now go to the central business district and not park. Dynamic pricing is intended to create more parking in our central business district by increasing the price and lowering the price in our residential areas. But in Hoboken, there's no parking anywhere. Whether you're on 5th and Garden or you're on 1st and Washington, you're not finding a parking spot. So all you're simply doing is raising the money. It's a clear, quick money grab for this administration that is simply trying to find ways to not lay off people, to hold the line on taxes, which they promised they were going to do when they were elected, and now they're just using parking as a way to raise the revenue and clear fix budget holes.
Yeah, so look, I mean, it seems inevitable, and I'll knock on wood, but it seems inevitable that there will be a tax increase at Hoboken, and there will be some layoffs as of this moment in time, right? So certainly parking is taking the brunt of the generating new revenues, but I'm sure other services and other uses in Hoboken are going to feel it too.
Right.
So I mean, do you feel like this is something that's just inevitable due to the circumstances?
Well, the thing is this: we have certain rules and regulations in Hoboken that are problems. Okay, that our residents and visitors don't understand, and then that confusion leads to tickets. Okay, and that's what the city loves to do. I would want to see the administration and the city council prioritize fixing some of those problems, fixing some of those programs like the yellow extended overnight parking. This is a sign that was created, I simply made.
You could show the camera.
Yeah, this was a sign that I produced. It was $35 that should be hanging on every single corner because it explains what the program is. Right now, if you come into Hoboken and you see a yellow curb, You don't know what that means. So what do? You park, right? And at the end of the day, when you come back to your car, if it's during the day, you're going to get a ticket. So we want to see programs like this get prioritized so it's less confusing. So a visitor comes to Hoboken to dine at our fine restaurants and businesses, that they actually come back. They don't get hit with another backdoor tax because of the confusion and then not want to visit here. And that's what we really want to see. You know, I know services might get cut, people might get laid off, but what we're really trying to fight with at Parking Dude is help some of the city council members understand that there's low-hanging fruit solutions to some of these parking problems that could really make the entire environment of parking in Hoboken better, less confusing, and so that people are able to come here and visit. Residents want to stay here instead of move away. And that's really what we're trying to focus in on.
So we've seen the mayor and others from this administration talk about making this more commuter friendly in the Mile Square. There's talk of a new light rail station. Obviously, there's a lot of bike lanes have come in the past 5 to 7 years, I'll say. Right. And, you know, they tried the e-scooters, and they will likely be back at some point. So do you feel like there could be a happy medium between, you know, life with a car in Hoboken and life without a car in Hoboken?
Absolutely. And I think what we need to do is start with community meetings. You know, I've sat down with Councilwoman Fisher, who's now the new chair of the Transportation and Parking Committee, subcommittee, and we're really trying to nail down how do we do this. I suggested to the director, Ryan Sharp, and to the communication director, Vijay Chaudhuri, let's do a walk around Hoboken. Let's figure out what are the areas that are confusing. Why are there blue corners and red corners and yellow corners? Why are there temporary no parking signs falling down every day in the rain and people are getting towed? Let's have a zero tow program. We have a zero vision program, right? Let's try to install a zero tow where people are not getting towed at the cost of $300 to $400. Instead, using that money to put it back into our local business and economy. Those are the things. It's definitely we're able to go out and have community meetings with a lot of smart residents in our community to try to solve some of these problems. We have blue handicapped expired spots that need to be painted over. We have, like I said, the temporary no parking program needs to be fixed. We need to add technology so that people are getting the information as these rules are changing. People know about it across the board.
So part of the more commuter-friendly approach has to do with Vision Zero. The ultimate goal, as you're well aware, is no car-related fatalities by, I believe it's 2050. So what do you think about the viability of this program and how it is being rolled out here in Hoboken?
Well, I think the overall idea of everything is, of course, we don't want any deaths, we don't want any major accidents. But I think in Hoboken, we've been doing something, and across the country, for a certain way for over 100 years. You know, there's no reason for I don't think there's a reason for these expensive bump outs that are eliminating parking spots, that are creating confusion. I know it does make it, you know, quicker to cross the street, but like I said, we've been doing something for so many years, and I don't really see that it's such a big problem where we needed to have this expensive solution. On Washington Street, it cost alone probably almost $3-4 million just on the bump outs alone. So, you know, I think it's another way for this mayor and this administration to kind of market what they're doing on both the state level and on a national level to get more in the news, to get those sound bites that we're trying to create an atmosphere that is safe for pedestrians. Everybody wants safety for cars, for pedestrians, for cyclists. There's a way to do it without, you know, doing something so drastic that affects our local economy and adds to a $14 million budget hole, in my opinion.
So now we've heard the administration say that the parking utility is down in revenues this year, last year, several hundred $100,000. Right. And that's why they have to do things like make the residential parking permit from $15 to $52. I mean, would you say there's any logic there?
Well, the bottom line is $4 million surplus is what the HPU is running on. So something is working there. We have certainly a lot of problems in the HPU that we could be using that $4 million to apply it to. The city municipal budget has a $14 million budget hole. So there's clearly a problem there, right? So why are we using a successful revenue generator that can easily be going back to helping people park in the city of Hoboken, but instead we're trying to fix a budget hole. I'd rather see them, instead of look at the HPU and how much money could be generated, look at the spending issues. Look at the multiple positions at City Hall that have been created for no reason. look at all the eminent domain grab and attorney fees that have been spent. You know, that's what I rather see is let's deep dive into the administration instead of looking at how we can create more money in a already successful department.
So just, I'll let you go on this. I mean, the administration, just for clarity's sake, is stuck with their 7.4 to 7.5 number. Obviously, you and I and others that are paying attention have heard as high as 14. But any parting words before we call it a day?
I just say if anybody's watching, you know, stop getting tickets. Stop getting parking tickets. Every time you get a parking ticket, you're feeding these people at City Hall that just want to get you to get those tickets. You know, follow us on as much as you can to stay informed, to stay notified, so that you don't get a surprise ticket or you don't get a surprise tow. And when you save that money, spend it back into Hoboken in the local business market.
It's happened to the best of us, even me. So,
sure.
Andrew, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for taking a look. We're going to be right back.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Pen and Pencil Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpencilproperties.com. Pen and Pencil Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
You know those times when you need to see the doctor, but you just can't get to the doctor? So where do you go? Go to the App Store, download the Telemed app from RWJ Barnabas Health, and you see the doctor right away. From any mobile device, whenever you want, wherever you are.
Quality care, no appointment necessary. The doctor is online when you download the Telemed app.
Don't you feel better already?
RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. John Arhitis, thanks for coming back. So many of you probably are aware, especially if you saw the top of our show, that Senator Bob Menendez went hard at Bernie Sanders while he was at Hoboken during a media scrum on Monday. So at that, you guys are probably familiar that on Sunday, Senator Sanders was on 60 Minutes, and he made a comment that when Fidel Castro came to office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing, even though Fidel Castro did it? And that was before he condemned political prisoners in Cuba. But as you can imagine, a lot of people across the aisle, both Democratic and Republican, were not too thrilled with his take on that. And certainly Bob Menendez is one of them. So we're going to show you his reaction to that. And you know, also his thoughts on an open primary for the presidential race and who he'll be supporting or not. Take a look at the clip.
I'm sure that the hundreds who died in Castro's jails, the over 1 million who came to the United States and others who are fleeing elsewhere, those who are still languishing in Castro's jails simply because they seek to speak their mind, as we are free to do in the United States, do not find anything in that regime other than that it is a tyrannical regime that abuses people's human rights and denies them their basic civil rights. And so, you know, I don't understand how you can praise any of that. And this is a fundamental challenge as we go into these elections about what does it mean that Senator Sanders sees, things worthy of, applauding when you have dictatorships, authoritarian regimes that ultimately deny the civil and human rights of its people. I just think that that's fundamentally wrong, and I certainly think it's wrong for the person who would be the leader of the free world.
It appears you don't support Senator Sanders' bid for the presidency. Do you have any preference at this moment for the Democratic nominee?
I haven't made any decision about who I'll support, but which is why, in part, I made the advocacy that there be open lines, be an open presidential primary. This way, from Senator Booker, who's up for re-election, to all those House members who are up for re-election, to all the state and county officials who may be up for election, they will not be affected by whoever, Senator Sanders or anybody else, is at the top of the ticket, and whoever wants to support whichever presidential candidate gets to do so. I think that guarantees us not having an internecine fight because of presidential candidates about the things that are so important to us, like re-electing Senator Booker, re-electing our members of the House of Representatives, and electing Democratic candidates at county and local levels. Beating President Trump is job number one, because I believe the president has done harm both here at home and abroad. As the senior Democrat on the Foreign Relations Committee, I can tell you, has done harm abroad. I don't think, however, he has done irrevocable harm. Am I worried that if he got elected a second term that he will do irrevocable harm? Yes, I am. And so at the end of the day, job number one is beating President Trump, not because I dislike President Trump, but because I love the country more.
The Jersey City Medical Center, you know it for its award-winning life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Good Friend Self-Storage in Northburg, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut, Ciattarelli. Hydus. So, as mentioned at the top of the show, Jack Ciattarelli, a former state assemblyman, also a former Somerset County freeholder, was at Lola's Tapas just the other evening for the annual Hoboken GOP Lincoln Day dinner, and he certainly took some shots at Governor Phil Murphy, the man he hopes to challenge in 2021. So, let me tell you about some of his comments there. He said Murphy's one and done at 21. Let me tell you why he's one and done at 21. He doesn't get it. Maybe it's because he's not from New Jersey. Maybe it's because he doesn't understand New Jersey. But I'm telling you, this guy doesn't get it. He's not one of us. Any governor that sits on the stage at Rowan University and says that if taxes are your issue, we're probably not your state. That's what he said at the stage at Rowan University. He went on to say that he agrees with President Trump in a number of issues, including the war on ISIS. He said he disagrees with him on offshore drilling. And he also said that Trump has caused a booming economy. So he's supportive of the president on a number of things, but again, doesn't agree on everything. And also made mention that he believes the Gateway Tunnel is something that needs to get done here in northern New Jersey, something that the president certainly has not expressed. He also said that he started the campaign early this time so that he could go to each and every door throughout the state, make his name and face known, and make sure that it's a competitive race, which he expects to get low down and dirty in typical New Jersey fashion next year. So that's a race to keep your eye on. Jack Ciattarelli, as you guys may know, was also a candidate in 2017, but he lost the Republican nomination to former Lieutenant Governor Kim Guadagno. So with that, we have a little rapid fire. We're running short on time, but I also wanted to tell you guys about the Jersey City, now former CFO, Chief Financial Officer, that was Lubna Munir, alleges she was terminated by the finance director, John Metro, after she insisted the 2019 financial statement could not be submitted with a bank reconciliation statement. Check out what she said in a letter to Mayor Stephen Fulop at the City Council. According to law, this is an unfair and unethical practice. Please don't forget 2018 bank reconciliations were completed in November 2019. It was an ongoing issue in accounts and control before I joined this municipality. Munir, who was hired back in July, has made allegations of criminality, but Mayor Fulop told me this morning that none of that is true and that this is just essentially a disgruntled employee who has a bad record of bad job performance record. So, this one could be heading to court, but whichever way it goes, we're certainly going to keep you posted. Also, in a bit of breaking news, at about 1 o'clock today, just an hour before we went on the air, Jersey City's Office of Emergency Management and Homeland Security Director W. Greg Kears confirmed to us that a construction worker was killed, unfortunately, during a trench collapse on Route 440. So our thoughts and prayers certainly with the family there. We'll give you more as soon as we have more information. Obviously, that's a developing story. And finally, I didn't want to end this broadcast without speaking about the Bayonne Board of Education meeting that took place the other night. So that meeting, as you saw in Jersey City about 3 weeks ago, there were a number of people that came and spoke about the LGBTQ curriculum that will be implemented in 2021 following an executive order by Governor Murphy. And a lot of people said they opposed this curriculum, and they explained why, though there were a couple supporters, more than a couple, several supporters in the crowd as well. So we're going to show you the clip, and we're going to call it a day. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. Of course, we will see you next week.
I have a gay sister, by the way, and we touched on these situations. I mean, these sort of subjects, and she even tells me that this is not the way to go about it. I mean, and she's gay.
LGBTQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer. I just want to start off by saying that I have nothing against anyone who believes in this, but me personally, I don't. I am a Christian, a Coptic Orthodox Christian. I believe and was taught in my religion that marriage is the union of one man and one woman, just like God himself created Adam and Eve for each other in the book of Genesis.
So, as much as people don't want to admit it, LGBTQ+ does have history. And it can be something that can be taught in school, and it can help a bunch of kids who feel like that they're alone when really they're not. And it would be nice to know, you're not alone.
When you look at the curriculum is not about teaching sex. It is about teaching about the historical contributions of the members of society who have always been taught, but students have never been able to see themselves in it. It's one of the reasons why many people don't turn to certain careers, because they've never seen themselves there. This is why this curriculum is important. This is why Governor Murphy instituted it. He listened to people across the state. He looked at the rates of suicide going on, and it was troublesome. And most of the teens who talked about why they felt like committing suicide was because they did not see themselves valued in school. We need to do a good job, and we are doing a good job at this, and I think we're going to do an even greater job when the curriculum gets fully implemented.
It is a mandate, just like we have financial literacy, just like we have what we have to do in science, math, in history. This is a mandate given to us that it must be taught. So we are not taking a vote on whether we are teaching it or not teaching it. This is a mandate from the state, and the state of New Jersey, excuse me, I've let you all speak tonight. I have let you all speak tonight. And the state of New Jersey has mandated that this curriculum be implemented in all public school districts. Therefore, Bayonne Public School District must implement the curriculum for September 2020.